Awesome. So I am here at Compass Academy with Sydney.
Hello.
And some of the team is here too.
Hello.
It's twin day, so they're not in uniform, but we like to celebrate all holidays here at TW and participate in all the school spirit and culture. So, but this is Sydney. Can you just introduce yourself, what grade you're in, where you moved from, where you went to school?
Yeah. So I'm currently in a 7th grade math classroom. I also help out with one period of a Spanish classroom for English speakers who are learning Spanish. And I help out with one classroom of 8th graders who are doing some extra math help. And I moved from Portland, Oregon. I'm at Compass Academy Middle School. Yeah.
Where did you graduate from college?
I graduated from Pepperdine University. I studied biology and minored in Hispanic studies, and I'm actually going to medical school next year. So
Yay.
That's my Lacey plan.
Awesome. Yes. So, you mentioned what classrooms you serve. You don't have to go into a minute by minute overview, but what's a regular schedule look like for you?
Just in the classrooms, or
just from when you get to school? What time do you all first circle, and end the day? When does after school start?
Yeah. So we have to get here at 7:15. We first circle, and then at 7:30 we head down and we do breakfast duty and door duty. So we greet the kids. My goal always is to make them smile, which is pretty easy with middle schoolers because they get embarrassed so easily. But make them smile at the door, and then build relationships with them, or do our check-ins for behavior and attendance during breakfast. And then from 8 until 1, I teach with my partner teacher in my 7th grade math classroom. Usually that looks like either I do whole classroom support, but more often I have my focus list kids and then also some other small group kids, and I pull them to a table in the back and do the lesson with them at maybe a bit slower pace, giving them a bit more encouragement, facilitating group work together.
Right.
It's really fun and sometimes very hard, but it's still fun. Then we do lunch, recess. Right now I'm in my planning block, so this is usually the time I get some more work done. And then I have either my 8th grade or my Spanish class, and then we do after school, after 3:30 until 4. We watch kids before they go to the bus. We have some clubs that we do, like Creative Casa, where we have DIY projects. Selena and another one of our core members, Ileana, are doing awesome with that. And then from 4:30 to 5:30, we usually have about an hour to do some more work. And then at 5:30, we go home.
Cool. Thank you. And then this one should be a pretty easy one for you, but what makes your school unique or special or different from any of the other ones we serve in?
Well, number one, we wear yellow at Compass. Instead of the normal red, which is fun. We're like the bumblebees whenever we do training together. Number 2, Compass is a bilingual school. So they, if you don't know Spanish, then you have to take Spanish here. And then actually 73% of our students, English was not their first language, and for most of them it was Spanish. And they have social studies in Spanish. They have a Spanish class where they get to continue their language development, and it's really cool because the school's goal is to not make our students feel like they need to strip away their original culture and identity to learn English and learn American customs, but that they can still hold on to those while moving into the U.S. So I did minor in Spanish and speak Spanish, not fluently like some of not native fluently like some of my teammates, but it's been amazing practice, and I love getting to use Spanish here.
She does not give herself enough credit. She is so good.
Oh, this is our native fluent speaker on the team.
I approve.
I also didn't do my quick pan around the team room, so here we are.
It's a
You
little
have a
messy
nice
right now.
big space, and it's very colorful, so awesome. So on the flip side of that, are there any challenges that you've overcome or are working on overcoming that you've kind of faced or experienced during your service year?
Yeah, I think one big challenge here is we do have a lot of ELL, English language learner students. We try to not call them ESL, English as a second language, because it's not very open-minded. It is assuming that English is their second language, whereas some of our students actually already speak 2 languages and English is their third. But with our ELL students, just trying to push English content and pushing math can be challenging. Also, with some of our newcomers to the U.S., they're probably about like a lot of them are about a 2nd or 3rd grade math level, and I'm working with 7th graders.
Right.
So that was something that surprised me coming in, as I wasn't anticipating like that very math level, and
Right.
it's been a learning curve for sure to learn how to work with those kind of students and help support them so they can succeed. And I think another thing is middle schoolers they're awesome. They're so awesome.
I love middle schoolers.
They're so
That's
good.
my favorite
They're really
age group,
funny.
but not everyone
Yeah,
feels that way.
they're very blunt, and they have.
Charlotte's nodding.
Yeah. Yeah, don't expect too many compliments from your middle schoolers. And there can be some pretty challenging behaviors that I've learned, but also I feel like for any job really, if you're going to work with kids in the future in any capacity, if you can learn how to deal with the behavior of a middle schooler, I feel like you can deal with any behavior issues. So it's been such a great learning curve. But yeah, that was 2 challenges that I've faced since being here.
And my number one piece of advice with middle schoolers is just you cannot take it personally.
No,
at all.
you cannot.
The minute you do, that's when it's tough. But as long as you don't take it personally, you'll be okay. So, and then, different from that, what's been one of your favorite memories or experiences so far this year?
Yeah, my favorite
Or
memory by far is our City of Heroes event that we did last semester. Heroes is we try to make it like a really big after-school event that families are invited to, and we all pick 2 students we've been working with who've just shown a lot of growth. And they don't necessarily have to be like the top scoring students. Usually we like to pick the students who don't normally get acknowledged. And I got to pick 2 of my math focus list kids that I've been working with. And one of my girls, her mom went out and bought her a new dress, and she got her makeup and her hair all done for the event. And they were just so excited. And then another one of my kids was one of my ELL kids, and getting to talk with her family about her work in math class was super sweet. And I really loved that night. And that was probably my favorite thing we've done so far this year.
Cool. And you get to do another one next semester as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. And then, is there anything else you want to add about your transition to Denver or city year that you think is important for people to know ahead of time?
I think the best advice I received before coming was to not have any expectations, really. I had an idea of, okay, we're working with mainly math and English, and that we're doing stuff with attendance and behavior. I wasn't too sure what that was. But I tried to keep a really open mind as far as what I would look like in the classroom and how I'd be helping, and I'm really glad I did, because I don't think I could have possibly imagined what my job would have looked like.
Right. It's so different for every school and every classroom, and adapting to your students' needs. So that's one of the most important things. So that's a good one.
Yeah. A practical one, I made a budget before coming out. I have a spreadsheet that I work with, and living on a stipend can be challenging, but I found that actually keeping track of every single cent I spend has helped a lot. So,
Cool. See if we can share that with people too. I'm going to try to share more budgets this year to give a better example. So,
that would be good.
Hopefully that will help. Awesome. Well, thank you for talking with me and taking time.
Of course.
And if you have questions, just drop them in the Slack group or email us, and Sydney can answer them.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.